Live in 5 seconds. All right. Go. All right. Hello, this is Mr. Bones for the Sega Saturn. It's a very weird game. It's kind of like puzzly or something. It's like a bunch of different types of action going on. So we're just gonna get into it. And I got my buddy RPG here to help me with commentary. So yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Smurf.
Woo. All right. So it starts off with some lore that we're gonna immediately skip.
Yeah, so this unfortunately is not an all cutscenes % run, but there's a lot of good cutscenes in the game. It's kind of a meme that's been done for another marathon run where somebody ran all cutscenes, but maybe next time we'll get an all cutscene speed run.
Honestly, I was thinking, I guess it was a little late for it, but I was thinking it would have been cool to do like all cutscenes US, but even just playing on the US version alone is significantly more difficult. It's a little bit slow. It's not like astronomically slower, but it is a fair bit slower for a few things, and it is way harder. So in order to not lose a significant amount of time, which can just kind of happen in this game overall, you know, you need to play very, very well, and we're just going to be kind of chilling. So Mr. Bones is a skeleton, as you can see, and he's blue, and all these red skeletons, which are the bad skeletons, want to get him. So he's running along here, and his blue butterflies act as health. Anything blue basically is good. If it's blue, good. If it's red, run away. So I actually got into this game through my buddy RPG here. We raced it a long time ago. I seen him run the game a bunch of times, but I never actually played the game myself. And when we were racing it, I kind of casually just found this one really big wrong warp, saved a lot of time, and then eventually led to a bunch of other wrong warps and stuff.
Yeah, so like for RGLtv 2017, my friend Hito Kage 220 hooked me up with a Sega Saturn and basically gave me one game that was a very bad game, Nights into Dreams, and like probably one of the first, because I probably only picked up like 5 games for the system, 2 of them being Bomberman games, but I picked up this game because it rolls unfathomably deep. And it's spooky, and it's you know, you got a rolling deep skeleton that plays guitar, and you cannot
he
go
does
wrong
play
with that
guitar. It's true. So a little bit of spoiler. Oh my god! All right, so there's not too many things that can go bad here, except for losing a bone is really bad. I mean, I'm still not even that sure, because like I've had runs where I lost a bone, and it, like, I would have thought I would have lost a bunch of time, but I actually didn't lose much time at all. But basically, you can either lose or save like a ton of time in this level. I don't really know what causes it, but I'm assuming it has to do with the lag in certain parts of the stage. Yeah, that's how it's going down.
Yeah, I hope everyone is having a good weekend, and they're getting a lot of Halloween costumes going. Would like to hear anybody's.
Oh, my timer is all messed up. Oops.
I don't know what's going on, man, but it's like it keeps resetting from the milliseconds, and
I had it on screen, and so it looked, I don't know, it was all messed up for some reason. All right.
Oh, there you go.
Anyways, we're on to the next stage here.
So we didn't soft lock in that cutscenes for the pig, and then Colin found a really fast strat here. Also, he broke up his bones, which makes him basically does not get hit here if he spams I can't remember the button. It's like Z button.
I shared it to the Discord, so you can see.
So he's spamming a button here to not take any damage while he's broken up.
Yeah, so you can use the top 3 buttons on the Saturn controller, which X, Y, Z? Yeah, X, Y, Z. They cause you to get these special abilities. We don't have any special abilities yet, but when you're breaking your bones up from using that, it gives you iframes, so you just spam the iframes and I didn't get the skip. But it doesn't matter because we're playing the Japanese version and it's fun. Whereas on the English version, those guys, you have to kill all of them, and it spawns like extra guys on the English version, and they take just for the. It's insane how much time it loses. It's like, I don't even know, probably close to 20 seconds or more. It's bad.
Yeah, so far, like, there's no difference between warpless and warp category, like the ones with warp. So here we're going to be playing out this full level, but in the any percent category, like, basically you would almost, if not be done already with the, what should have been done.
Yeah, you would immediately go to the left of the level and clip into a wall and wrong warp basically to the end. But here's gonna be some sketchy platforming. This is actually probably one of the hardest levels in the run. And there's a point or two where it can get really sketchy. This is one of them. Oh, okay. Well, it's really, really scary there because those guys can hit you and you lose your bone permanently. And there's no real backup. You just lose a lot of time. Trying to get your bones anywhere is really, really sketchy and scary, and could actually just cost me to die and lose a significant amount of time. It's really bad. So.
Yeah, so if you look up at the top right of the screen, there's like this letters that spell out bones, and like every time he takes damage, like he starts to lose bones that fill up that meter, and it doesn't really like necessarily. It's not like a typical health bar, but basically your bones are easier to like break, and then they're harder to keep on. So like if he doesn't spam
so there's a neat little tech there also,
yeah,
where you can just pull out your little attack button and it stops you from jumping. You'll kind of bounce around on those branches otherwise, but you just pull that out, and it's useful for warpless, and only in warpless is kind of cool. But yeah, as you lose your HP, when you take damage, you can lose bones, and it makes things really sketchy in the platforming levels.
There'll be a few levels where it gets like really sketchy. Here's the rolling guitar.
Awful. That was so bad.
Yeah, so every time it like flashed red there, that means that he wasn't hitting at the right timing, and yeah, not the best guitar solo there. But you need all the skeletons in the crown to turn blue, and then you play another note, and then it finishes the.
Oh, there go all my bones.
All right.
Here's a lot of the platforming that you would not be seeing in any percent category, because you would just use the warp to the wrong warp to beat each of these levels.
So this is actually a new strat I just recently came up with, which is either it's like between 1 second to being either slower or faster than the previous strat I came up with, but significantly more consistent and easier. I think it actually is a little like 1 second faster if done perfectly, which is not easy, but pretty good actually. That was pretty good. So this is probably maybe the hardest level in the game. So hopefully we get this jump. Oh, that's not good. Well, it's actually okay, not good.
Yeah, but you have to have a certain bone configuration.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So if he did not have like specific arms or legs for each of these 3 levels, he can't beat the level. So he needs like a specific set. And if you take damage a lot, like he kind of is a little bit sketchy there. But we.
That level, it goes one of 2 ways: either really well or horribly horrible, and that was actually not that bad. Not that bad. Alright, so this is probably the level I've worked on the most. You can actually kill the middle bat there and run really quick if you're like gaming out of your mind and miss the jump there. Unfortunate. But yeah, it's really hard to do actually. I'd have to practice it a bunch. This is a extremely tight part. I'd say it was best to just kill these guys because this is cycled and you have to wait, and it ends up being perfect if you kill them. You don't waste time. So use that tech here again, and I missed the jump. But you can jump up to this ledge immediately if you do your jump proper. This game is really wonky in some places. You just fall and yeah.
Yeah. So far he's doing pretty.
All right, so that's new, and this is new. You can skip those guys like that. That's like the most recent thing that I kind of worked out. It's just nothing like super duper crazy. But and then we can do a little damage boost through that guy. If we attack him in that position, for some reason it just puts us right through him. So yeah. I got a massive auto scroller. It's got some cool music. I tried to go for a frame perfect swag glitch, but I didn't get it.
Oh.
Yeah. I seen RPG do it once randomly by accident, and so now I'll usually go for it in runs just because it's pretty funny. But yeah, if you press left right at the start there, when he gets locked into position of running right here, he'll be in this animation, but like facing to the left. You can't do anything with it, but he's just stuck there. It's funny.
And this is where one of the biggest wrong warps exists in this level, because you do it right away, like within the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, so actually, this is the first wrong warp that I found when I like first started playing this game for the first time ever. It was pretty epic. I was just jumping around like crazy. Now that it's happened, it really makes me wonder how no one found the wrong warp sooner. But at the same time, it's also really epic. I don't know.
Yeah, and it works a little bit differently than the other ones. This one's in the middle of a side scroller, and it has to do with like where the bones are at off like.
Yeah, it seems to be very precise. Like you can so I found a way to set it up where we can take damage in a very specific spot that it's gonna give us the wrong warp as early as possible. But for whatever reason, it seems to depend when your arm bone is coming back on screen. I don't know what like causes it or anything at all, but I just know like if you take damage in certain spots it'll work, and if you don't, like if you try to do it in other spots it doesn't work. So need a scientist. Game
yeah,
scientist.
And it's a pretty big time save because this is about a 4.5 minute level, and you save almost about 4 minutes by doing that.
Yeah.
And it is like this can be a scary level casually, because like you get towards the end and you have to really dodge
I mean, yeah, if you've done it enough times, it's really not that bad. But casually, if you haven't like played the level, I had to actually like learn how to do the level pretty much because I had never done the level before. My first time playing through the game and I found the wrong warp, so I had never beaten the game this level casually. Yeah, we're coming up to, this is the end bit here. I mean, there's a little bit more actually. It's pretty close up. As we get this hill, and then there should be another butterfly on the left, and then I think it's the end. That's great. This is where I used to die all the time. These ones. Yeah, I think the bait is to try to go for those butterflies there. You don't even really need the health because you're gonna go into another level that's really easy to get your health back. Yeah, so it should be the same every time, but I don't actually remember it. I just kind of know where to stand generally and what to do through doing it enough times. So you got another auto scroll here. It's pretty cool one though. It's the drum level, and it's kind of just like a swag glitch. But as long as you're mostly pressing the directional input of whatever the input is, like you can press away for a frame, or I don't know how many frames exactly, but like you can hold right for now basically, and then start pressing left and up and whatever, like here, down, and then just everywhere else on the D-pad. And I think I remember if you don't do it at the very start at all, then it doesn't work later on for some reason, but yeah. And then I think that's also specific to the JP version, which is weird, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're pretty much past, I think actually, yeah, that is, there's no more wrong warp levels. Like all the warps that we could have possibly had done in the run are already behind us. Is it Tic Tacs? You got Tic Tacs?
I know. Yeah, that's one thing about the game is basically there's a bunch of like different levels that are completely like the game just switches up almost every level. You're doing something different. Like there is the like side scroll, like the platforming that's pretty consistent, but like you'll just get into another level and you're just doing something entirely different, like almost every level.
Yeah, I would definitely, like, honestly, that's what I'm saying, like, missing the cutscenes is kind of, it really is a shame, because the cutscenes actually do roll deep, and I would say that it's worth anybody, like, giving it a try. If you've never played this game before,
yeah, it leads into,
go to the
like,
store, fire it up.
Because, like, right after this, you'll get, like,
spend your $300 on your local Saturn game and fire it up. Oh yeah, the Rolling Deep raid.
Rolling Deep raid. Shouts to Kyle. Shouts to Christmas. Hold it down.
Oh. So, I mean, it's obviously intended that you wait a little bit and your height increases when you jump here. But I found that if you time your jump somewhat very specifically, it'll actually give you a really high jump. And I don't know if that was like developer intended or a glitch or what, but it's not a warp, so we do it. Alright, so now this is probably one of the hardest levels in the game, actually, but also probably one of my favorite levels, or my favorite level. This is the big bones. Oh god. Oh god! Ah! Ah! Come on!
Oh god. No, no.
What is going on here? What is going on? Alright. So, we need to bounce Mr. Bones off his skull. Even though he's got a skull attached to the part that we're bouncing. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this level, actually. But it's cool. We gotta bounce him into these other things and get the bones, and then... This is as bad as it gets! Okay, never mind. It definitely gets worse than that, but that was not good. If you're trying to get a really good, like, fast run, this is probably one of the hardest levels to get through. Because of that bone, and the next two specifically are usually a big trouble, but I mean, as you can see, any of these can give you some issues. And it's just kind of random. Like, you can practice for it, but because of how the bone just bounces and bounces off of things, it's a little, you know, unpredictable. Sometimes you can get really, really lucky and it'll bounce all the way over to where you need it to go immediately, and then other times you just get trolled. These ones are... I used to try to go off the bottom specifically, but it's very, very sketchy because the side of the head there, like, there's no collision actually on those last two. It's different from the rest of them. For whatever reason, they decided to cut the collision off of the skull at the end of those, on those last two bones, and it makes it a lot more difficult. This is actually, so this is a two-part game also. This is the last level of disc 1.
Yeah, 2 discs, and you'll see him do like a disc swap based on, like, he has the Japanese console, but if you did not, you would have had to have like a game, like a power pack in there, and it would come up with an extra screen if you like boot up the next game.
I'm gonna use a satiator, so it's gonna be like bleep bleep. You're gonna be like, whoa, what? Just wait. Alright, so we got the Sega Saturn. Woo! Alright, and then we're into this too. Oh yeah. Alright, so this too is actually pretty chill. It's just a bunch of auto-scrollers. This is where I guess the two of the most difficult non-like platformer levels. I say that because those levels, I don't know, they're just like very distinct. They are way different from the rest of the game in the sense that it's very much like a platformer. And then these are, I don't even know what to call them. It's just kind of, it's like an auto-scroller, but at the same time, I've never seen an auto-scroller like this. I'm moving through like an FMV. It's pretty cool. The cinematic levels in this game definitely make this game what it is. You gotta see the cutscenes too, like I said earlier. You got like a skeleton just running around talking to people and stuff. Skeleton being Mr. Bones, that is, obviously. Yeah, this is probably my favorite Halloween game. Soundtrack's absolutely a banger. Oops. Oops.
Ah. Yeah, so there's a glitch in the next level. I don't know. I don't know if Colin.
Oh, man, should I do it?
I mean, it's up to you.
I don't want to, but it loses a lot of time though. That's the only problem. But yeah, I did find a glitch that loses a lot of time, but it's really cool. But it's really cool though. So I'm trying to think. This run's actually going pretty well. I'm definitely good to be on estimate. But I don't know how much time it actually loses.
Probably around a minute.
Should I just go for it, and if I go over estimate, then just feel bad later? Alright.
I mean,
What do you think?
what do
the fans want to see? I can just do it in the middle of the stage at any point. But yeah, let me know if you want to see the craziness. It gets pretty hectic. I can maybe show it off really quick at the end of the run too, I suppose. I was kind of hoping to finish a bit under estimate, and then I could show off the final cutscene because it's really good.
Yeah, maybe just don't do it then. But
see what the final time is? Yeah. No worries. So basically here, there isn't a whole lot going on. I did figure out that if you move left immediately, you can just come and then like run back right. That spider's always going to be right here. But if you move left instantly, it just causes them to kind of spawn there. So that's why I did that at the start of the level. You can get really unlucky where these guys will spawn complete opposites, like there. This could be sketchy depending on where this guy is. Ooh. So yeah, if this guy spawned really far, okay, I'm good. But yeah, if they spawn super duper far like that, you can just lose one and lose a bunch of time. There's not much you can do about it. You just got unlucky. This is a pretty difficult level, I'd say. It's kind of like a platforming level, but there's a gimmick where you're on these ice tiles like that, and you fall in them and you lose health and get stuck. So if I was playing on the English version there, I would have just died and game overed. And the English version is so cruel and unforgiving that when you game over in that version, there's no asking you if you want to continue. It just throws you into the menu or whatever, and you have to like go to level select and start over again that way. So your best bet is to soft reset immediately if you know you're gonna die. It's horrible. What? And I'm not really sure what just happened there, but if I was playing the English version, I would have been really angry.
oh no!
Yeah! It's a very bad example. I'm not really sure what happened there, Blunt Bunny.
Blunt Bunny!
Alright, so I did figure some stuff out with this level. Like, you can just run all the way up here. This level, I want to say it's not fully optimized, but I did my best. I could definitely work out a way to run down this faster, like a better visual cue, but I've never spent the time I need to figure it out. Like, oh, and that just, I don't know, that just happens sometimes, I guess. Like, normally it's fine, you can just run all the way through, but I guess sometimes you get lucky and that just happens. That's why I should probably invest some time in that. Oh my goodness. It's been a long year of Mr. Bones, to be honest. So we got Shadow Monster here. This level used to be kind of hectic, actually. Didn't really know how to handle it, because sometimes those guys will spawn and then the things will be coming like that. Then one day I was like, I noticed just coming up the side like this, these, like, I don't even know what to call them, cylinder dudes. These, like, body pod shape things. But they just wouldn't spawn, so it's always these little flame guys, and it makes the level pretty consistent because you can just kind of jump up and down and avoid them pretty easily. But yeah, without knowing that, it's a pretty scary level because you take a lot of damage. Once you start getting hit, losing your bones, you kind of get stuck in an infinite cycle. It's another really cool level where I realized we could use this power up to stretch our head all the way up here. I don't know if this was the intended strat. Probably not, but it's pretty cool. So we can just use this power up and I took damage too far. Go, go, go. I'm not gonna be able to. This is awful. Damn it, Mr. Bones. Okay, so that rock falling right there on top of me is actually RNG. There is not a whole lot of RNG in this stage, to be fair, but that one is RNG. How to handle this stage perfectly, I'm still not entirely sure, because you can get your bone to fall immediately down, but it seems a little bit random. Not the worst. But yeah, it was also a disaster. Most sane people will justify cutting their losses on this level. So I had an insanely good run on the English version actually, and I was gonna like barely be just barely behind my JP PB, and then I died like 100 times, and I didn't die on Icy Lake, but I died in like just places you would never normally die. It was really frustrating. I actually got the worst RNG I've ever seen in my entire life. There's a joke on the English version, so I won't get into it too much because we're gonna see it in a little bit, but there's a level coming up shortly that's complete RNG, and on the English version the RNG can be so bad that the first time I seen this RNG I thought there was no way to handle it. I thought it was an instant automatic L, you lose, no. Game over. Game over. But no, it actually, you had like, if you know the RNG, because you can use your insane gamer skills to dissect the mathematical equation immediately, like mad scientist, then you have just enough time to barely do it without failing. Just barely. So, at best, it's a massive time loss. If not killing your run. It's horrible. Japanese version doesn't have that. So even though I might not understand... Oh, we'll get it. I'll talk about it later. Yeah. Oh, I get ahead of myself. Right now, we're in the halls of pain. There's a bunch of lore going on here. We're smashing through the lore. Smashing through it.
Oh yeah!
Just like how we're not watching any of the cutscenes, smashing through the lore. Smash through it. Next time, all cutscenes %.
Yeah, then you get
Maybe we can race all cutscenes %.
Yeah, I'll race colinbolts.
All cutscenes % English with warps, so it'll still be short. It won't be that long. It's when you throw the cutscenes in there and it's warpless, it's a little difficult. Especially on the English version, you're asking for a hard time. So the real spooky thing here is on the English version, you take like 30 times as much damage. So it actually, if you're missing the orbs and getting hit by these spiky things, then you're getting smashed. You're gonna be saying, "Oh no!"
And we're not talking about that kind of smashing, like on a Halloween party. We're talking a different kind of smashing.
And this level is also massive RNG. So like I said, this too is where your runs go to die because it's just full of RNG. Because your heart is pumping, the adrenaline's there, you're feeling good, and then it's like, oh no, I got the worst RNG I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, that was actually not bad at all. It was really not bad. That level can fluctuate massively. So this is the RNG that I was talking about. We can just have like a 4-way joke or five button joke. Like this. So basically it can be like that, or it can just be a nice quick 3-button joke. And where the buttons are for the joke pattern is completely random.
Yeah. In Japanese, like, it's hard, it's very difficult to understand the joke. I mean, you just, like, Colin's played the game enough times where he kind of knows some of them by, you know.
The Japanese one is significantly easier than the English one. It's actually mind-blowing. Like, the jokes are so long and just hard. Like I said, so there's that one joke that oops, I pressed the wrong button by accident. There's that one joke that is so difficult and hard that literally you need to get the joke right immediately, like start pressing the buttons instantly. Otherwise, you are gonna fail and get hit. And it's so tight that, like, when you get it right, you just barely don't get hit. This is actually really, really good.
Yeah, so far it's been decent.
That was pretty good RNG, to be honest.
It was a good time.
All right. So this is the final level, Los Endos. And guitar battle again. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. So, not much to say here. You need to time your hits so that they're hitting the red wall stuff here, and you need to grab the red stuff while you don't have a thingy. All right, that's time. Oh man, I was so close to sub 40 too.
GG. Yeah,
so that
really
should be a PB for me, I think, even.
Just casual.
So that's world record. Woo!
Yeah! Marathon, baby!
Woo! So sub 40 was actually kind of like my goal. If it was just a little bit cleaner at the start there, I would have definitely gotten to 39. But oh well, that's still
it's a good
pretty
thing
sweet.
you didn't show off that glitch. This is the final cutscene, and then probably enough time for him to do a couple of glitch exhibitions. I'm not sure how many, but
yeah. So I guess I'll just let this. I'll let this rock. Oh yeah. So I guess it is with the satiator, but I mean, so this is the thing, right? This is the thing. It's like we have to see, like, what are we gonna do later down the line, right? You know what I mean? And like, I'm okay with keeping it separate even, but in the end of the day, you're probably gonna have more people that are able to play on emulator than anything. So I just figured Satiator is the way to go. It's more accessible. It's easier for me. I don't have to worry about scuffing up my discs.
Not much of a listener, was it?
But I don't know.
yeah,
That's Mr. Bones.
You have to do a physical disc swap between games, and it gets kind of stressful, and you're gonna like pull the other disc out while it's spinning, like this one.
Saturn games are really expensive. And it's a shame because like there's so many really good games. Like this game, I would really recommend it. But yeah, that's why I made that joke where I was like, yeah, just go and pay $300 for at your local store for your copy, because it's not easy to get a copy. But the game itself is definitely worth giving a playthrough. The cutscenes are really, really good.
And I have no skin. Oh, it could work out.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal run for a marathon. Just missed the goal of sub 40, but
I know it was like, I noticed I was on sub 40 pace at the end there, and then I was like trying to focus a little harder. I wasn't even recording either, so oh well.
oh no.
Oh well.
I mean, other than the timer deal at the beginning, where it was kind of like.
I mean, it was going. It could be retimed too, I guess.
Retimed.
That was definitely all legit. I was not expecting. I knew I could PB for sure, but because of how bad the what was it? The one level went, I kind of didn't think it was possible. Oh well. I'm not gonna complain. That's sick. I don't think I've ever gotten a WR in a marathon. I don't think I've never PB'd in a marathon ever. The closest I came was in my GDQ run, actually, which would have been world record too. I was really close, and then I beefed it at the very, very end. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with that run. Again, I still would have liked to have shown off the cutscenes, would have been cool, but not much you can do about that.
World record for a different category.
But yeah.
Oh yeah.
As long as you're glitching. All right, I'm gonna show off the glitch that I was talking about. I won't take too much time with it, but it's pretty cool. I think it's worth viewing. So just get into it immediately. So basically, the way the wrong warps work is we just get ourselves out of bounds immediately wherever we can, and there's like a ceiling that's gonna block us using this like specific bone configuration. It is a little weird getting into this setup here. This is another reason why it's... What was that? I just like wrong warped.
Wow.
Getting into the... I don't know why I can't get it. Alright, there we go. Yeah, and then I'm just off the map. So... in theory, it could maybe be a little bit faster here. I mean, obviously, I lost a bunch of time, lost a bunch of health, lost all the guys that I only got one at the start, right? But now, you know, I could just kind of sit here and chill, and then they get saved immediately. I think it's like Mr. Bones kind of becomes one with the map. Like, I end the stage now. And that's pretty cool. That roll is pretty deep. But yeah, it produces a lot of lag, which I'm sort of trying to do at the moment. I figured out a way you can kind of jump back in bounds too. I don't really know what's going on here. I guess I'm like on a parallel plane. Like some sort of plane that exists on the stage that's not really...
It's like it doesn't exist in disc 1 as they didn't create it or something, because when you do this in disc 1, it just like wrong warps and the level's over. It just doesn't have any place to go supposedly, and it just like...
Yeah, the game's like fail-safe mechanism is to just finish the level, whereas this 2 is just freaks out like this and does weird things.
There's some kind of different program on the second disc for sure.
Oh yeah, and it can also do this and like make it lag really, really, really hard. Alright, so I'll just do that really quick. Maybe. Oh, or not. I got it to like almost crash the game, or it felt like it was gonna crash the game at least. Oh, there we go. So yeah, like at this rate, obviously you wouldn't save any time, but it's highly amusing. And then you can kind of get him in bounds somehow. I don't really know how to do it. You can also crash the game if you move in a weird spot, like that's too far to the left, I think. I think if you just go left, it eventually crashes the game. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna jump back in bounds. Maybe. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna crash the game. Alright, that's Mr. Bones. So, thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun. And, yeah, shout out to RPG. Thank you for the comms. And make sure to stay. And watch the rest of the runs. We got Big Mike coming up next, Ninja Spirit, the Game Boy. Playing a Game Boy game that rolls pretty deep, so go check that out. Alright. Have a spooktacular week. Woo!
Spectacular, baby!
Oh yeah! Woo! Rolling out and rolling deep.
But